tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Made it killing and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot.
Well, Coach, no precipitation to speak of, but still a very chilly December day in Philly. Winter coats and hot chocolate abound here at Lincoln Financial Field. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. 180!
Watch 54, watch 54. Quit talking about it and bring it.
What's that?
Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Running from the gun with Howard. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard, and he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Throwing now is Wentz. They'll set up the screen to Howard. Finding room inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Cowboys and Eagles, of course, such a great rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys got the better of the Eagles both times that they met, with Philly coming off their Super Bowl title. But in weeks 10 and 14, it was Dallas beating Philly by a single possession. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 27 yards there, a first down.
It's 74.
Mike 48.
Hey, watch the leg.
To throw is Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
Check 13. Check.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jordan Howard, his 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. To throw is Prescott. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for, but it's going to be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And he'll take this from one 47-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
They run with Howard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Philadelphia picking up the 1st on a gain of 15.
Eagles 1st down.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 36. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And some space here. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Braxton Miller, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott on for the extra point.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. From the 27, Prescott. He'll have a first down past the 40. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. 12 yards there and a first down. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swain, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 27-yard line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
A first down carry by Elliott. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half in some of these shorter games.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. And they'll start out here with a jet sweep. He's got a first down past the 30 and brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
On first down, they run with Howard. Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
I got him.
gets through the tackle. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To throw, it's Wentz. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Cooper was the target there. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well.
Check, 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 check.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Here's Wentz to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Wentz going to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Check tight.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this 1st half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. This is Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there, 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. Cooper was the intended target. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year, franchise rookie record for Dallas, en route to a Pro Bowl appearance.
Watch the shit.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And Howard stopped short. He didn't get there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Your trip is here.
All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the... And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick 6 TD. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that. See if he can brace up and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Back to it after the pick 6. Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Graham racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. In on the stop, it was Dorrance Armstrong.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. On 1st down, it's Elliott. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted but it winds up falling incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Prescott from the gun on third. And that's Elliott, complete. They stopped him shy of the marker, thought they were bringing up fourth down, and then that penalty.
Let's face it, they thought they had bent, but could absorb that, right? Instead, they broke as a result of their own penalty.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Elliott. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
2nd down, Prescott. This to Jarwin. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Now Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Jackson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They go with Howard to begin the drive. 10 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
Running with Howard. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz. He'll hit Jackson, complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Hey. You got 3. You got 3. 3 down. 3 down.
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard at the Cowboys' 33-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Wentz gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
Cowboys 3. Jake Elliott set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Cowboys take over
Let's go!
first and
Let's
10
go! Let's go!
at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to get a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run on first down. Elliott. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Prescott. And that's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Jenkins, the Pro Bowler. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
17 yards and a first down for Philly.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 14-yard line.
They go with Howard again. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now Howard. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
First down and goal to go.
Check. Waiting. Check. 55 to Mike. Danny.
On 1st and goal, Howard. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jordan Howard taking it in as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And he'll sling that one in there. Complete to Cooper on the comebacker. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down. Prescott now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down. Dak Prescott last year against Philly, boy, biggest game of his career passing yardage-wise, 455 yards, 3 touchdowns in a 29-23 December victory over the Eagles. To throw again on 2nd down, Prescott. That's complete to Cobb. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Buying time to his left. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 at the 19. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys are in for 6. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Get ready.
At their own 28-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Come this way, here we go.
Again, it's Howard. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Leighton Vander Esch, 3rd in the NFL in tackles as a rookie last year. There on the stop. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Braxton Miller, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got to the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Jackson in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down.
It's now fourth down.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Go. 180. Check. Watch 54. I'm on. What's your son?
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Wentz on the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 50-yard line.
180. Right there in the middle. 55. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. What's that?
And they will take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for